Hello, my name's Archie McEvaddy. I'm from Milton Keynes and I study business management and marketing full-time at Nottingham Trent University. So this term I think's gone really well so far. I feel like I've adapted well to second year. Despite the higher workload than we had last year, I feel like I'm coping well with this. Mainly because I've kept organised, I've had a work schedule and I've been sticking to it. So I feel like I've been on top of my work a lot more than I did last year, which has been very useful. So my organisation's been really good so far, having a work schedule, and I've been making use of the library a lot more, which is a really useful facility which I didn't use as much last year. So this year I've been in the library a lot more and I feel like it's a very constructive working environment. So I've been doing a lot of work there and I've been keeping on top of my studies. I've been very organised with how I'm going to be working and when I'm going to be working, so I've been very structured with that. What's gone not so well is possibly not taking as many leadership roles as I would have liked to. So in group activities, I've tend to this term taken a bit more of a backseat because there's lots of leaders in my group, whereas I think next term I'd like to volunteer to take a leadership role in more bits of work and group discussions in class, because I'm quite a natural leader and I like to have my voice heard, as I feel I'm quite creative and I can come up with some good ideas. So that's what I aim to do next year. So I also want to join a society next year and become more involved with the Nottingham Trent Society as a whole and get involved. I'd also like to take part in more activities and workshops in the library and at the Global Lounge, because they're very helpful and they can really help me improve myself and see where I can go from here and get better. I'd also like to see the employability team a lot more, because I've visited them once and they were very helpful with helping me develop my CV and telling me what I've done well and how I can improve it to boost my employability. So my PDP targets are, after the 3 years of studying at Nottingham Trent, I want to achieve the highest grade I can. By doing this, I need to keep my workload up and I need to keep motivated and on top of my studies, which I've been doing so far, so I need to keep this going. Again, I want to make the most of the employability team, because they're the experts about how I'm going to improve my CV and then at the end of the day get a job out of it, so they'll be very helpful for me. I'd also like to get a part-time job, whereas last year I had a part-time job fundraising for the British Heart Foundation, whereas this year, because of the increased workload, I haven't had enough time to balance them. So I feel next term I need to come up with a more structured schedule as to how I can fit in my studies whilst earning some money in a part-time job, because I did really enjoy it last year, I just haven't been able to fit it in so far. So my CPD this year, I've been to many inspirational lectures which have helped me become inspired and motivated for a career in the future. One particular lecturer was telling me about how he was the CEO of Sainsbury's and he rose from nothing to become a big part of this business, and it was really interesting and it inspired me. So that was very interesting. I've met my mentor on one-to-ones meetings, which has been useful as he's helped me develop my CV and how I can improve my work ethic and given me useful tips on now, which have been helpful. I've been football refereeing and working for a company called Serve Legal, which is testing companies for their ID checks, such as bars, restaurants and shops. So it helps the company look at their procedures and how they can improve. So that's been quite a good part-time role as well. So I want to keep up my organisation, keep motivated, spend more time on the employability team to keep up my chances of employability and increase my CV. And yes, that's what I aim to do next term.